Let's do a little bit of an overview and a reminder. Medicare is not just for people age 65 and older. So I wanted to start with the reminder, Medicare is for people 65 and over, as well as an individual who is disabled. Defined as disabled, expected to last more than a year or result in death. And once you've been disabled for at least 2 years, you also qualify for Medicare. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, one of our nation's largest not-for-profit medical study groups, excellent information from them. They are apolitical. They don't care about the politics. They just provide information. KFF.org. According to them, about 15% of Americans, 40 million people, are covered by Medicare. It's an impressive number when you think about it. And they tell us out of that 44 million people covered by Medicare, about half of them are covered by the type of Medicare known as Medicare Advantage that we'll be getting into. There are 4 primary types of Medicare. Most people have 3, and many people have 4. But the 4 different types are your major medical, Part A. There is no general premium for major medical costs. You've been paying that your whole life through the amount that's paid through your check every week. So can you get type A insurance? Yeah, but generally there is no additional cost once you hit 65. Now, I'll be getting into the detail of this in a couple of minutes. So major medical type A is the primary coverage if you need surgery, hospitalization after you're 65. Part B is the type that replaces your conventional health insurance. There is a premium, there is a copay, there is a deductible, but it's for your doctor and pharmaceuticals and labs and things like that. Alternatively, there is a thing that used to be called Medicare Part C. Well, nowadays it's called Medicare Advantage. For Medicare Advantage, you go to a third party who sells an insurance policy that kind of wraps around Parts A and B. What it does is you can either get Part A and Part B on its own, or you can get Part C and wrap it around Part A and B. So you buy it from a third party, and what it's meant to do is fill in the holes here of Part A and B. You don't have to get it. About half of the people that have Medicare are covered on it. There's reasons to get it. I'll get into it. And there's reasons not to get it. I'm 70 years old. I will be 70 here in 3 days. I don't have Medicare Advantage. I am on conventional Medicare, and I'll explain why as we go through this here in a little bit. Finally, the last part is Medicare Part D, the pharmaceutical coverage. Let me remind everyone, nothing up here is mandatory. You're voluntarily included in Medicare. You don't have to sign up, but if you don't sign up, you probably won't be able to get health insurance when you need it later in life. Can you sign up for one part and not sign up for the rest? And the answer again, probably. If you sign up for Part A and you don't want Part B, I suppose theoretically you don't have to. I've never heard anybody doing it, but wouldn't really have to. Now, if you sign up for Medicare Advantage, you have to have Medicare Parts A and B. And finally, Part D is independent. You don't have to sign up for it. I strongly recommend that everybody at 65 sign up for it, but you don't have to. All right. On these overview, while we're still here on page 1, just some other reminders. So the supplement policy you get from a third party, a conventional insurance company, AARP, Humana, Blue Cross, whoever that may be, and they're going to charge you a premium. Now remember, this supplement policy, this is over and above. If you weren't aware of it, let me go backwards. A supplement policy is over and above our main Medicare coverage. Right? So Medicare is Part A, Part B, Advantage, and Part D. These come from the federal government, although the Advantage product comes from a third party, but it is the conventional plan. In addition to that, you can buy a supplemental policy. Now, who can buy a supplemental policy? You can buy a supplemental policy unless you're under the Advantage program. So, for example, I have already mentioned I'm 70 and I am not under an Advantage program. I have Parts A, Part B, and Part D. Can I buy a supplemental policy? Yes. What is a supplemental policy meant to do? Fill in the holes of the things that these don't cover, which we will be talking about. If, however, I have chosen to use Medicare Advantage, which is a third-party program that includes A, B, and additional premium, I may not get a supplement policy. So, the supplement policy is something you buy from a third party. You can only buy it if you are not on the Medicare Advantage program. You don't have to buy it, and there is an additional premium if you have that. Your premiums that you're going to pay, and again, I'll get into the depth. This is what I like to call the view from 20,000 feet. Medicare B and D have monthly premiums. I'm going to give you some real-life examples here in a couple of minutes. So, for example, Medicare B has a base monthly premium for the year 2023 of about $165 a month. However, if you're what's called a higher income American, you will pay an additional amount. It's called a IRMA, right? And this says if you made a whole lot of income, again, I'll look at the detail in a minute, you will pay a higher premium than the base premium. So Medicare Part B has a base premium of $164.90 a month. If you have high income, your base premium is going to be higher than that. And it can go all the way up to $500 and some dollars, and we'll see what those numbers are here in a minute. Now, that additional premium, that's not forever. All Medicare B premiums have a base amount. You only pay that excess, that IRMA penalty, if you have too much income, and that too much income is defined as 2 years ago. So, for example, in 2023, they are going to look at your 2021 income to determine, are you going to pay that IRMA premium? In 2024, they look back to 2022. So it's possible everybody who's on Medicare is going to pay the $164.90. But that IRMA premium, you might pay it 1 year because you had an unusual amount of income, but then it may drop back off the year after that. All right, so the IRMA add-on is an annual event where the base premium is a flat amount that all Americans will pay. Finally, there is what's called a late enrollment premium penalty, and that also applies to Medicare Part B and D. And if you've forgotten what Medicare B and D is, Medicare B is our conventional health insurance for doctors and for labs and things like that, and Medicare D is pharmaceutical. All right, so what happens here? Medicare B has a base premium of $164.90 a month, and you may be paying that IRMA add-on if you have high income. Medicare Part D, pharmaceutical, also has a base premium. I don't remember what that is. It's not much, 10, 12, 15 bucks a month. Maybe it's 30, I don't know. But it has a base premium. It also could have an IRMA add-on. Now, both of these also have, Part B and D, also have a second potential additional fee. All right, so why don't we go to our interactive whiteboard here, and let's start doing some summaries. So we know we have Part A, we have Part B, we have Advantage, and we have Part D. Now, A is major medical, hospitalization. B is conventional insurance. C, our Advantage, is a combo of A plus B plus add-ons. And D is pharmaceutical. Now, there is no base premium for Medicare Part A. There is a base premium of about $165 a month for Part B. Medicare Advantage, because Medicare Advantage combines A, no premium, plus B, premium, plus an add-on that we don't know, there is a base premium there. And then Part D, the pharmaceutical, it has a base premium, excuse me, and I'm going to throw a number in because I don't remember what it is. Let's say it's $30 a month. Okay, you may remember then, if our income is too high, there may be what's called an IRMA penalty. And the IRMA penalty is a high income penalty that does not apply here, but can apply here, can apply here, and can apply here. Because over here, since your Advantage premium is based on Part B, your income's too high, you may have that. Finally, there is the penalty for late filing, the late sign-up penalty. It does not apply to A, but it does apply to B, it does apply to Advantage, and it does apply to D. What is that late sign-up penalty? Well, let's bring our slide back up for the late sign-up penalty. If you don't sign up for Medicare Part B and or D when you should, they're going to pay a 10% penalty each year over and above the base premium that you sign up late. So if we use $165 a month as our base premium and you sign up 5 years late, you're going to pay $165 plus 10% times 5 years, or another $82. You're going to pay $247 a month as your base premium the remainder of your life. You don't ever get away from that. So it is very important, as I get to it here in a couple of slides, that we understand the enrollment periods. We don't want to be late on signing up when I may have a penalty over and above my base premium. Okay?